Welcome back, y'all, to day 2 of the Transformed Mind Equals a Transformed Life mini course. So today we are in part 2 of this 3-piece connection, and we will be talking about the heart today. I put this verse from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 that says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Y'all, when I tell you that this verse is so true, it is so true. I feel like this is a really popular verse. Like, a lot of people know this verse, but I don't really know if, as many people know the verse if they know, what it's truly saying. But anyways, our hearts are like our core, and it's our innermost being. It's filled with our desires, our longings, and our hearts are so important. They determine what type of person we are. Like, I'm actually reminded right now of, I think it's a verse. I think it's somewhere in like 2 Samuel or something like that. But it says like, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks on the heart. And even thinking about like when we come to salvation in Christ, like we come hurting, we come broken. We don't have everything, figured out and put together, but it's God who changes us. He changes our hearts, and he's the only one who can. Without God, honestly, there is no transformation. But let's think about this. Like, why would the Bible tell us to guard our hearts? Why? Because it's important. It's valuable. Like, our hearts are important. Like, they don't put guards by the Buckingham Palace just for kicks. Like, they know it's valuable. They know it's important. So they've taken the necessary precautions. And that's how our hearts are. Like, our hearts are important. Our hearts are valuable. And we need to take the necessary precautions. Your heart is where you live from. It's your desires, your dreams, your goals, your affections, like everything that is important to you lives in your heart, and we'll also get into that a bit more later on too. But I have this picture of a house here, and I want you to think of your heart like a house. Now, if y'all have seen the show Greenleaf, I was trying to get a picture of a house like that, because y'all know how they have like the super long like driveway and they got the guard at the gate and stuff. I was trying to get that, but this picture is gonna have to do. So let me show you my analogy. So excuse me, this right here is the gate, right? Think of your mind as the gate. Your mind is the gate. Here's the little buzzer. Whoever is trying to come in, they got to ring the buzzer to let you know that they're trying to get in. But even when they get in, they can get inside the compound up to a certain point because there's another door. And then, they have to ring that doorbell to let you, in order for you to let them in. So think of your mind as the gate, and whoever's trying to get in, think of that as like an outward influence, any outward influence, music, society, culture, people, whatever. And then so they get in, and then this door is your heart, and you get to decide if you're actually going to let them into your house where all your valuables are, where your treasure is. You get to decide. Like, even if somebody were to break into your house, because it's not always that we are able to control everything. Sometimes outside influences come around us in our environments and stuff, the things that we see and that we hear, and it wasn't up to us. It wasn't something that we chose. But even if those things come in, it can kind of seem like, oh, well, we don't have control over that, but we actually do, because we can kick it out. We have the power, we have the authority to kick that thing out. We're not going to stand as a victim, okay? Who is with me? So, yeah. If something that is undesirable, gets into your space, gets into your mind and it wasn't supposed to, or gets into your heart and it wasn't supposed to, you still have control. You can kick that thing out. It is your house, okay? You have the power, you have the authority in that area. And so I use this analogy of a house because the heart is the doorway to your life. Guard it, cherish it, protect it. The heart is the key aspect in transforming your life, because this is where the core of your transformed life lives. Like from your heart will overflow into your actions. And, we'll actually be discussing that in tomorrow's lesson. And that's actually the final lesson too. But yeah, so I just thought that was a good analogy that would be able to explain a little bit better. So this quote says, "Desire, the starting step of all achievement." And I thought that was so true and so fitting for this. I recently listened to the audiobook of Think and Grow Rich, and when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's so good. But a lot of times we say that we're gonna set our minds to do something, or oh, I can do it if I set my mind to it. And when we say we're setting our minds to do something, our heart has to be in it too. Like, it's not just complete brain power. Like, when we are setting our minds to do something, like, it's like we're all in, we're putting all of ourselves into that thing, and our heart has to be in that too. So it's like when we set our minds, we're really setting our hearts too. And from there, then we're able to complete that action or that intended goal. So I think that's a good thing to, if you're taking notes, write that down. Like, I think that's a good thing to think about. And when we change what we're deliberately putting before us, then it will also have a profound effect on our hearts, because that allows us to pursue the right action. It allows us to be intentional about what we are pursuing. So our think action tip for the day. So part 1 to this is to acknowledge and discover, what are you currently meditating on and believing in your heart that is not aligned with the person you most desire to be. So that's part 1. Think about that. And when you figure that out, then part 2 is your action step. Choose 3 new thoughts to meditate on. And it doesn't have to, just be for one day. Like, continuously do this, put these things in place in your life, not just today and tomorrow, not even just this week, like continuously do this, continuously be intentional, because it's really important. So choose 3 new thoughts to meditate on, and whether you got to type it in your phone, write it down on a piece of paper and repeat it to yourself, or write it on a sticky note and put on your mirror that you'll see every day, or whatever. Like, make it plain and meditate on that. So that is it for today, y'all. Day 3 is tomorrow. It's kind of sad because it's like, dang, it's over. But I hope that you guys are blessed by this mini course, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I hope y'all are getting some good notes in there. If you are taking notes, feel free to take a picture of what you're learning or your notes or whatever and tag me on IG. I would love to see it. So I will see y'all tomorrow.